stay on target after a year of teasing. The Xbox One X, the most powerful video game console ever, is nearly here. And yet, even though we've had Microsoft's new half-step console in the office for a few days now, my life remains fairly unchanged, as do my opinions following the box full reveal at E3. It's impressive how dense yet small the device is, considering the high-end components it packs. Games that support 4K resolution sure do look pretty, as do the 4K Blu-ray discs the PS4 Pro inexplicably doesn't play. And even though this isn't exclusive feature, playing upscaled old original Xbox games like Ninja Gaiden was pretty painless in these modern times. And yet, even after using the Xbox One X, I'm still about as skeptical about it as I was after merely seeing it at E3. The Xbox One X, formerly and absurdly known as Project Scorpio, costs $500. The original price of the failed Xbox One with Kinect. Jeff Keighley was right. Thanks to a recent price cut to $250, that means the upgraded console launching this November costs twice as much as its more modest sibling the Xbox One S. At Microsoft's extra-long live E3 press conference, we saw an upcoming suite of promising games scheduled to hit the platform. Some were even exclusives, and not just Xbox and Windows 10 exclusives. However, for all of its improved hardware specs, the Xbox One X is still an Xbox One. Any games it runs will still, in some form, run on an original Xbox One. Microsoft hopes that the power of X can help it regain momentum in a console war it's losing to Sony and perhaps eventually Nintendo as well. Fans wore hilarious shirts reading, "I witnessed the most powerful console ever." But for as nice as the Xbox One X looks, I'm not convinced it's twice as nice as previous, cheaper, Xbox Ones. I'm no Digital Foundry analyst. The Xbox One X's technical specs to me are just it's better. On a math level, its revamped graphics and processors and RAM and storage and liquid vapor chamber cooling are probably more than twice as good as previous models. It's also shockingly tiny. We suspected the original Xbox One was as large as it was to avoid the overheating issue that plagued the 360. The X's beefy power potential in a compact size suggests Microsoft is much more confident in its hardware engineering this time around. Fortunately, instead of wasting time detailing boring numbers, Microsoft quickly let its games do the talking. And as a layperson, some of the games did look quite gorgeous running in native 4K and 60 FPS on the projected screen. Until they still looked like video games. I appreciate good graphics as much as anybody, and the Xbox One X can put out some very good graphics. But it's clear we've reached a point of diminishing returns. The birds of Assassin's Creed Origins and the cars of Forza 7 looks incredibly, distressingly realistic. But they aren't and will never be real. The actual Porsche on stage confirmed that, as did the actual gameplay of Assassin's Creed's take on Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy's ancient Egyptian hijinks. There's nothing wrong with looking like a video game though, as Microsoft rolled out trailer after trailer after trailer, more than I ever remember them doing. The most impressive ones to me were the games that embraced gaming aesthetics and just used 4K to deliver those aesthetics clearer than ever before. Minecraft somehow looks like a better Minecraft. Even old games, whether it's Gears of War 4 or original Xbox games using backward compatibility, get benefits ranging from faster load times to full and free 4K textures. We'll have more detailed hints of some of these games later, but out of everything Microsoft showed, there should be at least a few titles that speak to pretty much anyone. And none of them were Battletoads. I was glad to see the unfinished PC phenomenon PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds show up on a console. Animal mascot adventure Lucky's Tale Newly Unchained from VR and an Ori sequel were nice contrasts to cool but grim shooters like Metro Exodus and State of Decay 2, or the weird creepy slavery of Middle-earth Shadow of War. Tacoma and the Life is Strange sequel should satisfy the artier crowd. Anticipated old-school cartoon platformer Cuphead finally got a September release date, as did November Terry Crews Mayhem Simulator Crackdown 3. Code Vein and a slick new Dragon Ball Fighter brought some Eastern flair to a very Western show. Sea of Thieves feels like Rare's last-ditch effort to make an important game again, and while I'm disappointed to see it and BioWare's new sci-fi shooter Anthem take inspiration from Destiny, those socialite-glued MMO mechanics should please others. However, instead of thinking wow I can't wait to buy an Xbox One X, my reaction to this compelling software lineup was, wow I'm glad I already own an Xbox or Windows 10 PC that can already play all this on my extremely not 4K television without me needing to spend another $500 I often think and run on sentences. I'm sure Microsoft would be plenty happy to see more consumers buy the cheaper Xbox One S. It still gets them in the Xbox family. But along with theoretically bringing in more revenue per purchase, the Xbox One X is the company's new console pride and joy. So consumers not seeing the value in it would deal a terrible ego blow at the very least. However, if you already have a current console, I currently don't see the value in an Xbox One X. Heck, even if you don't, if you can put up with mildly worse visuals, the Xbox One S will get you the same games for literally half the price. Fellow journalist Mike Andronico tweeted about how confused kids with missing teeth or something might accidentally pronounce the console as Xbox One S when they meant to say X. But of all parental shopping mistakes, there are ones that would ruin Christmas way worse, which is perhaps the most damning indictment I could come up with for the system. Xbox One X is a good name. I just hope a bunch of kids don't accidentally get a 1S for Christmas. Mike Andronico at E3 at Mickey Andronico June 11, 2017. In general, the iterative console idea remains a tough sell. I don't think the new Nintendo 3DS is worth it. I don't think the PlayStation 4 Pro is worth it. I don't think annual smartphone upgrades are worth it. And even though the Xbox One X represents a bigger technical leap forward than any of those, its admittedly pretty E3 debut didn't convince me it's worth it either, even if Xbox software now arguably is. Pre-order the Xbox One X on Amazon for $499.99. Let us know what you like about Geek by taking our survey.